What's up, outsiders? Welcome to another video. I wanted to update you guys on what's going on with the web. What am I doing? What progress is there being made? And I just kind of want to show the background of what is actually going on because I don't feel like most businesses do that. So right here, what you can see is we're building a Skool community. So in the web network, there's going to be a community where we can ask ideas and talk and just work together on stuff. And if you have any questions or anything like that, you can ask them in here just so they show up at the top, etc. There's a classroom area, so we're going to start here where we go over certain things, the mission, the vision for the web. If you even want to be part of this or whatever, this is where you start. Once you finish this, you can start the actual courses, which is Basecamp, First Ascent, Mid-Climb, Summit Push, Beyond the Summit. And each of these parts are parts of the climb of Mount Veritas. So Basecamp is the starting point of your climb, and then First Ascent is where outsiders move from survival to growth, and you start actually investing, your mindset, your finance. And then mid-climb is like scaling, so your sales, marketing, SOPs, systemizing, automations, everything. Then we go into leadership and your wealth building. So actually becoming a leader, becoming somebody who has the ability to generate wealth for their family and moving on for that. And then beyond the summit is innovation and just creating really cool things. So we built all of these things, and they'll be all video courses, and every single one of them will have like a resource inside where you can download and use it and implement it into the web AI. So you actually have some actionable items to do. There's going to be weekly calls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mountain Time, I think it is. A members bar. See, this is for me, I think. There's a map, so I call it the World Wide Web. So it's kind of cool that it shows where all the members are and are going to be. I can't wait to see every single country filled. And then there's a leaderboard. So in order to unlock Basecamp, you need to have level 1. In order to unlock like Summit Push, you need to be level 7. Because we want you guys to progress. We kind of wanted to make it a video game, but also a video game that gives you results and that actually gives you real world results that uplifts your status and all these things, all for free. The about page, whatever, this is probably where you guys would see you join. But yeah, this is one of the things we're working on. There's some other things that we're working on with AI. So we have the web network AI right here. Many voices, one truth. Mount Veritas, you believe, obtain it. So like, if you want to ask, I want to build something real. Where do I start? I'm ready to go to the next level. What's my move? Something's off in my business. You can even ask it a question as like, I'm 18 years old. I just got out of uni or high school, and I am lost and don't know what to do. Can you help? So this has been loaded in with so much knowledge. Watch this answer. You just stepped out of high school and you're starting the mountain ahead. You're staring at the mountain ahead, wondering what now? Let's simplify it. So this version is like a ELI 5. I can't remember exactly what it stands for. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but it's like a summary of like the whole thing that it's gonna give you. I like this because I usually just read that. You don't need to have it all figured out. Your job now is to clarify. You find clarity at Basecamp. Who you are, what excites you, what habits will carry you up the mountain. Think of this as your training ground, not the final decision. Expanded clarity framework. Right now, you're at the Basecamp of Mount Veritas. At this stage, it's about identity, habits, clarity, not rushing into a single forever path. Step 1, see it, vision. Ask yourself, what problems excite me to solve? Who do I admire and why? What skills and our activities make me lose track of time? Journal answers. This is your raw summit vision. Step 2, believe it. Build non-daily negotiables, wake up routine, exercise, prayer, meditation, journaling. Anchor with faith, trust that clarity. Anchor with faith, trust that clarity comes through emotion, not waiting. Obtain it. So it gives you step by step of what you should do. What are the steps you should do? What do you follow? It's also, we've been developing the crypto chats, every single chat on the WhatsApp. You can see right here, we've been just going nuts, like getting good results, educating people, having other people within the web, just doing really well. So I hope to see you guys in there. If you want to join the WhatsApp, click the link tree. With that, it's a link in the bio or the link in wherever it is. There should be a link somewhere for you guys to take part in this and help me build the web and develop this into like something super sick. So can't wait to see you guys in there. This is a lot more like real world frameworks of what you should do, what steps to take, etc. Because I never had that starting out. Nobody had that starting out. So I saw a gap in the market of all these gurus coming out with bullshit courses, info products, and all these things. And it doesn't actually deliver value, it doesn't actually bring clarity, it actually brings more confusion because they load it with so much data, so much information. so much content that their whole goal is so you don't finish the course. So you just continuously are repaying memberships, repaying any costs that you have to pay. That's the whole idea of info, is just to load you so much information that you cannot understand what's going on, right? It's like the same idea as Skool. People are trying to replace Skool with online products and information and courses and mentorship and whatever. But the whole idea of Skool and why we hate it so much is because literally he said, I will teach them everything about nothing. And the whole thing that we were trying to change is that we teach everybody about everything that actually matters. And what actually ended up happening with info is that everybody is now teaching stuff that doesn't actually apply, or they're teaching so much stuff that it actually confuses you of knowing where to start. And I'm telling you this, that it doesn't actually matter where you start, it matters if you start and when you start. Because the thing is you can start today and continue on your path, but starting tomorrow doesn't really change anything. You just delay it one other day. Like, but you don't realize over a long period of time, it's like when I have a sniper, right? And I at 10 meters, I can move the sniper. Like if they're right in front of me, I can move the sniper any which direction. Or if I'm going 100, if I'm in a car and I'm going 20 kilometers an hour, I can fucking yeet the steering wheel. But once you're going 100 kilometers an hour, you need to be very careful about the way you move. And once a sniper is aimed 1,000 meters further, then you also need to be very accurate in your movements and your placement and your positioning in that snipe or in the car. This is why you need to start right now or as early as possible, because of that same reason. See, when you're older, you have much less risk tolerance. You're moving at 100 kilometers an hour. Your target is 1,000,000 miles away because you chose to build this life that you didn't want. And when you're older, it also is way farther away because of all the habits that you need to break, all these limiting beliefs and everything that you have that you need to break in order to break away into this thing we call success and fulfillment. So you need to start right now, or you just won't make it because of your own choices, because you delay yourself. See, the same time it takes a 20-year-old to reach $1 million is not the same time it takes a 40-year-old to reach $1 million, because the risk tolerance of both is completely different. One might have a family and kids and stuff, so they need to work a job. They can't just drop everything. And the other one has no worries in life, so they can drop everything and just focus on their goal. So that should tell you to start right now. And actually what happens with info is people are shooting machine guns. They're trying everything and not actually sticking with anything. See, I've done this before. I bought Iman Gandhi's course. I bought 1 billion courses, spent way too much money, just trying everything to end up not actually learning anything about anything or anything about everything. I just got more confused. They just loaded it with so much knowledge that I just got confused. And I found out that it actually doesn't matter what you do. It just matters that you stay on one thing and you don't give up. So I found that, why can't you just do what you love? See, people say don't do what you love because you'll end up loving something else in the future. Well, I don't agree with that. I believe that sure, maybe it does change in the future, but you have a purpose and mission for your life. And the whole problem is that you don't know how to release that into the world to actually do something that will generate income from that passion that you have, that vision that you have. I don't believe that you should succumb and build an agency or start trading or start doing whatever the world is telling you to do just because it's going to make you money. I don't really agree with that. If we all helped each other on whatever mission or vision we have, we would all be successful. So the whole idea of the web and what I just showed you is that we're making a clean roadmap that talks about only in here, and you actually are talking to yourself and finding out within, what do I like? What do I know? What can I do? What are these things that amplify who I truly am? See, there's this thing that came out, all these things about frequencies, how they say love and happiness and all the highest frequencies and gratitude or whatever. There's one frequency that's 400 times stronger than all the frequencies. And it's called the authenticity frequency. When you are completely authentic, when you are yourself, you actually deliver 400 times the frequency into the world than if you were just making money, loving, or happy, and all these things that people say are the ultimate level of happiness or frequency or whatever. Being yourself and being authentic is the number one level of frequency, and it amplifies you 400 times. You become a glowing light. You become illuminated. You become, sounds fucking creepy and shit like that. It sounds creepy to me too. But the thing is you become the light. You bring your light into the world. Let your light shine. But the thing is we become so bottled up to, oh, I just want to be happy, or I just want to be rich, or I just want to be this, or I just want to be that. It's kind of like being divergent. See, there's some of you who aren't divergent, and that's okay. But you do have a certain thing or archetype that you fit into. See, the divergence were everything, but there were certain factions that were like helpful people, happy people, people who are like police, you know, like they are brave or whatever it is, and the smart ones. And then there was the factionless, the homeless, or whatever they were, the people who didn't fit in anywhere. And then there were divergents. And there's different levels of divergent. And I think that the problem is that we don't realize that we're all divergent. We're all of the factions in one. Except some of us have certain levels of each faction, each quality, each skill set within us that is more amplified than others. Some people are more helpful, but they're also brave. But they get told that you're only helpful, you can't be brave if you're just this. Or they get told that, okay, you might be smart, but you're a helpful smart. How are you gonna make money helping people if you're so smart? But that's what you wanna do. See, that's the thing with the world, is that they tell you have to fit into a box. But I tell you, you don't. You build your own box. You fit into what you have built. You are a designer of creation. You are co-creating with God. And that is what the whole idea of the web is about, is an idea that we get to give ourselves the power back instead of giving it to the people who are building a box around us, controlling us just like the factions, and fitting us into boxes when that's not where we belong. We belong right here, right now. We live in reality, and reality is 3D, which means we operate in space, time, and I can't remember the other one. Anyway. And 4D is our soul, our mind, where we do not operate within time, space, or anything that is physical. We operate outside of it. And what I'm telling you is that you can take in your mind from the fourth dimension, bring it here, and collaborate on ideas to bring that vision further. See, there's one thing that defines, it's called power. Why is it called power? Because when you can take an idea and bring it into the real world, that's power. Now, the levels of power are different. If you can take an idea and make it instant in the real world, you are all powerful. You are God. Because that's what God is, all powerful. But if you are a human, then you take an idea from the world or from the fourth dimension, from outside of this space, confined space of 3D, and you go outside and you find an idea. This idea takes you a little bit because you need to think about the idea, you need to plan on the idea, you need to write down the idea, then you need to start executing in the idea, and then maybe over time you start developing the idea, and then 10 years later you'll have the full version of your idea, if that. So humans are not very powerful. But the thing is that they've built a third option. There's only two options. Being God, which you can't, and being human, which kind of sucks because bringing ideas into the real world is really hard. But they've built a third option for us, and they said, how about you stop thinking about ideas from the outer world, because it's not real. And let me tell you what you should do. Let me give you all the ideas you should have. Let me put you into boxes: science, social, math, literature. Wait a minute, this sounds like factions. And let me build careers and things like this so you can live in my world that I built for you from my idea that I master planned over hundreds of years. Doesn't that sound like power? Well, guess what? That is power. That is a power that has overtaken this world. And I am here to defeat it. I'm here to fight my whole life until we've beaten it. And that's what the web is. We're fighting a battle that isn't here because it's happening already. It's just you can't see it because you can't even get to the fourth dimension anymore because you've been trained to live in the third dimension and things happen here and only here. But I'm telling you, everything that's happened has already happened. And you can't change the past, but I'm telling you this, you can change the future. How can you change the future? The future moves in time frames. If I make a decision right now, there's so many possibilities for what other decisions I will make after that. So right now, if I choose to take a trade, there could be millions of opportunities that could go down or up. But what gives probability? Frequency of action. Just a point on that, this is exactly why people don't make it in trading. The whole idea is that you just have to keep going until you fail so many times that you've learned all the failures and you can't really fail them anymore, or you just keep failing until you've learned. So yeah, you can't really fail. Because you've just seen the same thing happen so many times that you're just used to it. You understand the market in a way that nobody else will, just out of experience and stuff like that. See, when we do something for so long, we end up seeing more results, right? How can I see this in the real world? Some real world example. Well, I'm trying to get a six-pack. My goal is to get a six-pack. Okay? How do I dictate the probability of me getting a six-pack? In the time frame that I say. So let's say it's a year. Well, the probability of me getting a six-pack, if I do it once a week, to get it in a year will be much lower than if my frequency of action is a lot higher. So if I go to the gym every single day or 3 times a day and I over-exaggerate it, my probability probably goes up to even over 100%. So you can estimate your success by just doing the things you need to do. So you ask me, why do I believe we can change the world? Why do I believe that we've been put in a matrix, in a box, in a simulation, in a video game? Because these people have brought ideas from over there, which are evil, in my opinion, put you in a box for you to act on their behalf in their ecosystem, and not allowed you to reach your creative ability and all these powers that you have right here or everywhere. And you can grab those moments, because right now is all we have. We can grab those moments and you can actually dictate how you can change the future. If you choose to do something for a long period of time, there's no way you can fail. There's a way you can learn from failure, there's a way you can fail, but there's no way you can actually lose. Because if you just keep going, you'll probably get it. But if you give up, you know exactly where you're headed. So by changing the future in your own head, you actually create reality. You are a mirror of everything you think. You are a mirror of everything you believe and see. And when everybody is sharing the same mindset of, I need to do these things and follow this path and build this vision that this person told me to do, you start developing the future in the way that they chose to develop it. You don't actually have a choice anymore because you've given it to them. You have the illusion of choice, but you don't actually have a choice. That is the web. Hope you enjoyed this video. The next few videos will be more about trading, since I'm taking an account from $100 to $100,000 and as fast as possible. So stay tuned for that. I wasn't gonna post it originally, but I took it from $20 to $100. I'll pop up the screenshot right now just to see what I could do. So now I'm gonna take it from that point, since you guys, I have doubts or whatever bullshit, and I'm gonna take it from there to 100K, and I'll show you guys the progress. I'll show you guys what's going on. Probably won't show every single trade, but I'll give you recaps in between. And if you get value from this video or any other videos that I post, then please hit subscribe, follow, or whatever you want to do to support not me, but our collective as the web. Remember, outsiders, see it, believe it, obtain it. Let's get this shit.